The Shakespeare authorship debate centers on the question of who truly wrote the works attributed to William Shakespeare. A shadowy aristocrat composing a play in a grand estate represents one side of the debate. A glover's son reading in a humble cottage represents the traditional view of Shakespeare's origin. These contrasting images highlight the core mystery surrounding Shakespeare's identity and background. The debate questions whether someone of Shakespeare's known background could have produced such sophisticated literary works. The 19th century was marked by the Romantic era's fascination with the concept of the tormented genius. This era grappled with the challenge of reconciling the image of the divine bard. They contrasted this image with the reality of a practical, business-minded theater shareholder from Stratford. This contrast created a dichotomy between artistic genius and pragmatic enterprise. Victorian society developed a specific image of the noble author. This image often portrayed authors as tragic figures with hidden genius. This romanticized view served a particular purpose within Victorian literary circles. Victorians struggled to accept that profound knowledge could exist outside formal education. They found it difficult to believe someone without a university background could possess great insight. Therefore, they invented the narrative of the tragic, noble author to reconcile genius with social expectations. During Shakespeare's life, his authorship was not questioned. Contemporaries consistently attributed the plays and poems to him. His name was directly associated with his works by those living at the time. There was no ambiguity regarding the identity of the author. Shakespeare's contemporaries provide clear evidence of his authorship. Historical records support the contemporary attribution of his works. Contemporaries of William Shakespeare acknowledged him as the author of his plays. Critics and fellow writers of the Elizabethan era recognized Shakespeare's works. Publications from that time attributed the plays directly to Shakespeare. The First Folio, a collection of Shakespeare's plays, reinforced his authorship. Dedications from Shakespeare's peers within the First Folio further confirmed his role as the playwright. The anti-Stratfordian argument often misunderstands the nature of intellectual development. A brilliant mind thrives within a stimulating and vibrant cultural context. Formal academic degrees are not always necessary for acquiring profound knowledge. Shakespeare absorbed knowledge from the dynamic environment of Renaissance London. The bustling city provided a rich source of information and inspiration for his works. Shakespeare functioned as both an actor and a shareholder within his theater company. This dual role provided him unique access to theatrical resources and collaborative opportunities. His position allowed him access to the theater's library, enriching his understanding of literature and drama. Shakespeare actively collaborated with other playwrights, contributing to and learning from shared projects. The theater served as an intellectual center, enabling Shakespeare to gather information and hone his dramatic skills. Alternative authorship theories propose that someone other than William Shakespeare penned his plays. These theories suggest a hidden author secretly wrote the works attributed to Shakespeare. A key element of these theories is the idea that the real author allowed Shakespeare to take public credit. For an alternative candidate to be plausible, this secrecy and credit sharing must be accepted. This acceptance requires believing the true author intentionally concealed their identity. The plays were then presented to the world under Shakespeare's name, maintaining the author's anonymity. Alternative candidates for Shakespeare's authorship include figures like Bacon and De Vere. The writing styles of these candidates differ significantly from Shakespeare's known works. Their established literary works do not closely resemble Shakespeare's dramatic verse. This discrepancy in writing style is a key point in the Shakespearean authorship debate. Analysis of writing styles provides evidence against alternative authorship claims. The Shakespeare authorship myth persists due to its allure. It transforms literary history into an elaborate mystery. This mystery suggests a grand, concealed origin for Shakespeare's works. The myth's seductiveness outweighs the factual truth of Shakespeare's authorship. The myth of genius fulfills a fundamental human need. This need is the desire for significant achievements to have extraordinary beginnings. People are drawn to the idea that great works originate from exceptional sources. The myth also serves to reduce anxiety. Specifically, it alleviates the worry that genius might be commonplace. It comforts people to believe that genius is rare and exceptional, not ordinary. The scene transitions from the Globe Theatre to Stratford. This transition highlights Shakespeare's personal journey. It represents his move from his hometown. The journey ends in the cultural capital, London. This path signifies his rise to prominence. Shakespeare's signature on the Stratford Parish Register provides tangible evidence of his life. The register confirms his birth and other key life events within the Stratford community. This historical document directly links the playwright to his birthplace. The signature serves as a powerful symbol of Shakespeare's origins and identity. William Shakespeare was born into a middle-class family and received a grammar school education. He relocated to London to pursue his career. Shakespeare functioned as both a businessman and an artist in the theater. His work involved adapting existing stories for the stage. Shakespeare's adaptations are noted for their psychological depth and insight into human nature. A persistent myth suggests Shakespeare's works were penned by a concealed aristocrat. This theory challenges the widely accepted historical account. Historical records identify William Shakespeare of Stratford-upon-Avon as the playwright. Shakespeare's identity is supported by documented evidence from his time. The debate centers on whether the works reflect the life experiences of Shakespeare. Despite speculation, mainstream scholarship affirms Shakespeare's authorship. Among historians, there is no credible debate regarding the authorship of Shakespeare's works. The scholarly consensus affirms that William Shakespeare wrote the plays and poems attributed to him. Claims questioning Shakespeare's authorship lack historical evidence and scholarly support. The Shakespeare authorship question is a modern cultural phenomenon, not a historical one. This modern phenomenon does not reflect any legitimate historical uncertainty. Therefore, the established historical record supports William Shakespeare as the author.